Republicans love to attack progressive representatives like Ilan Omar or AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or Rashida Tlaib. Well, today, Jake Tapper did something, and I found it magnanimous in the way he defended Rashida Tlaib. As, of course, Rashida Tlaib has been accused of being anti-Semitic, which what she really is pro-Palestinians. As far as she is concerned, Palestinians are being harmed, Palestinians are being killed, Palestinians are being hurt for what terrorists have been doing in their name. Most Palestinians are just as innocent as most Israelis are innocent, and it's just the warring factions that creates the killings, the actual murder, instead of solving the issues through some sort of a truthful negotiations, of course. So Jake Tapper did a great thing today, I think, specifically because the Republicans want to censor Rashida Tlaib. What he did is showed the hypocrisy of those folks who have been the most racist within the Republican Party, show how they hypocritically are attempting to use Rashida Tlaib's words. First of all, twist their words to mean much different than what they mean, but more importantly, that these people who want to censor her are the ones who themselves are the true racists, the true anti-Semitic. These are the ones that have been marching through the streets saying things like they will not be replaced, and all these other tropes that's been used. Check this out. We'll take it on the other side.
Some folks only pretend to care about anti-Semitism when they can weaponize it. Never ceases to amaze. Allow me to tell you about a brand new House Republican resolution to censure Democratic Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, the first Palestinian American woman in Congress. Now, accusations of anti-Israel and anti-Semitic statements from Tlaib are not exactly new, and I'm just talking about from her fellow House Democrats. Attention on Tlaib refocused after the explosion at the Baptist Hospital in Gaza a week and a half ago. The Hamas-run Palestinian Ministry of Health immediately blamed Israel for what they called a strike, while Israeli and eventually U.S. intelligence ultimately suggested it was more likely from a misfired Palestinian rocket. Despite all the new evidence, Tlaib waited more than a week to add a clarification to her tweet that others have raised doubts about the claim. She did leave her original tweet up. She got a lot of criticism from fellow Democrats, and you might be sitting there thinking, okay, I can see why that might bother, even outrage people. But are House Republicans really in a position to censure Tlaib? I mean, the leading Republican presidential nominee, Donald Trump, he dined with Holocaust deniers. Donald Trump posted a screed accusing liberal Jews of, quote, voting to destroy America and Israel last Rosh Hashanah, to nary a peep from any House Republican leaders. Let's just take as an example, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia. Greene spoke at the white supremacist conference run by Holocaust denier, racist, anti-Semite Nick Fuentes, who participated in that hateful 2017 Charlottesville rally. Now, Greene later said she didn't know Fuentes' views, although they were pretty well known. This is the same Marjorie Taylor Greene who has pushed the great replacement theory in videos, the deranged notion that rich Jews are trying to replace white Americans and Westerners with blacks and brown Muslims. Not to mention, of course, her Jewish space laser conspiracy that a consortium, including, yes, wealthy Jews, were using lasers on satellites to start forest fires. Here in Israel, Greene has gotten some attention for belittling the Holocaust by tweeting, quote, Joe Biden is Hitler, with the hashtag Nazi Joe has got to go. and for saying that then Speaker Nancy Pelosi's House floor mask mandate was an abuse, just like how Jews were, quote, put in trains and taken to gas chambers in Nazi Germany. Under fire, Green visited the Holocaust Museum and apologized. So let me tell you something. You're never going to believe who the Republican offering this motion to censure Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib is. I want you to take a guess. Go ahead. Take a guess. That's right. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And it gets worse, because when you read Greene's resolution, you realize it is A, written by someone who seems to have learned about the Arab-Israeli conflict maybe 10 minutes before, who maybe didn't even have access to Wikipedia. And B, while there are plenty of valid criticisms of Congresswoman Tlaib, this resolution twists a bunch of things that she said beyond recognition. And C, the resolution seems much more focused on January 6th than it does on October 7th. Throughout its pages, Marjorie Taylor Greene describes this act of civil disobedience from a bunch of left-wing Jewish groups that are critical of Israel's government, this act as an insurrection. This is not an insurrection. It might be a bunch of folks with whom you disagree. It might be a bunch of people you think are misguided, acting in a way you don't like. But this is not an insurrection. Anti-Semitism is not a cudgel to be used against people for political points. No, nor is Islamophobia or racism or anti-gay behavior or misogyny or any other kind of bigotry. Just over 3 weeks ago, 1,400 people, mostly Jews, mostly civilians, were slaughtered here in some of the cruelest and most unimaginable ways, in the deadliest day for Jews since the Holocaust. This shit is not a game.
Again, Jake Tapper did a great job in pointing out the hypocrisy of so many on the right attempted to censor someone like Rashida Tlaib. Think about this. If you're Rashida Tlaib and you're Palestinian and you have relatives in the Gaza Strip, and bombs are flying and killing innocent people by the thousands. Look, what Hamas did to Israelis is terrible. It's criminal. It was a terrorist act. 14,000 or so Israeli sadly died. We should all feel that pain. But what the revenge used by Netanyahu and his clan of just blowing things up, irrespective of whether people are in there or not, under the pretext that you are doing this because you are going to ultimately save lives and destroy Hamas, makes no sense. And the reason why is, if you have a problem with Hamas, hunt Hamas down, but stop doing it in the fashion of destroying the entire infrastructure, the entire economy of a particular group, which is exactly what they're doing. What they're inflicting on Palestine right now, or on the Gaza Strip right now, is nothing short of genocide. It's nothing short of terrorism. So two wrongs don't make a right. But I tell you one thing, take a picture of Tel Aviv or any Israeli city right now and take a picture of any townships in the Gaza Strip. Post and pre-bombing or pre this conflict. And tell me who's the one inflicting the worst damage on humanity right now, based on what has occurred and what is occurring. Just take the pictures side by side. Take the number of deaths side by side. Take the number of maimings side by side. And then let's see if you can really answer the question, who is the real aggressor? Who is the real oppressor?
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.